Hello, myself Shubhashish Shah, Assistant Professor of Mathematics of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, GIS Group. In this video, I will discuss about normal distribution. Normal distribution. In my previous video, I have already discussed about two distributions, binomial and Poisson distribution. And these two distributions were discrete distribution, but normal distribution is of continuous distribution. So the definition of normal distribution is a continuous random variable, a continuous random variable x is said to have a normal distribution if its probability density function is given by fx equal to 1 by sigma root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square, where x lies between minus infinity and infinity. So this is the probability density function of normal distribution. Here mu and sigma are two parameters of this distribution, okay. Now in this case we say x is normal variate with parameter mu and sigma, and we denote it by x n within bracket mu and sigma. That is, a normal variate is denoted by this n within bracket mu comma sigma. Okay. So actually in practical life we deal with standard normal distribution. So from normal distribution we get standard normal distribution, and standard normal distribution is a special case of normal distribution. So when mu equal to 0 and sigma equal to 1, that is x is a normal variate like n 0 comma 1, then x is called standard normal variate. Okay. So when a normal variate is given, x n mu sigma is given, we can convert this normal variate x from normal distribution to standard normal distribution. That is, a normal variate can be converted into standard normal variate, and the rule of conversion is, if x is a normal variate, then x minus mu by sigma, let us name it as z. Z will be a standard normal variate. Okay. Then z will be a standard normal variate with mu equal to 0 and sigma equal to 1. I will discuss about this later, the details of this conversion. Before that, I'll find out the mean and standard deviation of normal distribution. Okay. So the statement is, if x has normal distribution, if x has normal distribution, with parameter mu and sigma, then number one, mean is equal to mu and standard deviation is equal to sigma. Okay, so for normal distribution, mean is mu and standard deviation is sigma. Now I'll prove this. So since x is a normal variate, so the probability density function will be given by 1 by sigma root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square, where x lies between minus infinity and infinity. Okay, so to find the mean of normal distribution, we know that mean is denoted by ex, or it can be called expectation of x. So ex is defined as minus infinity to infinity x into fx dx. Okay, so here we will put the distribution function in place of fx, that is 1 by sigma root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square dx. Okay, now I will integrate this. So 1 by sigma root 2 pi is constant, 1 by sigma root 2 pi is constant, and the remaining part is minus infinity to infinity x integration x into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square dx. Okay, now I am substituting x minus mu by root 2 sigma, that is the square root of this term, a power of the exponential, by z. I will use gamma function to integrate this. This is the improper integration. So if x minus mu by root 2 sigma is substituted by z, then differentiating both sides we get dx equal to root 2 sigma dz. Okay, so here we are substituting 1 by sigma root 2 pi, and limit will be same. This will be minus infinity to infinity. Here this is an improper integral. We should write a limit. We should use limit to integrate this. I am writing this directly, the limits. So e to the power minus, okay, the value of x will be root 2 sigma z plus mu. So root 2 sigma z plus mu into e to the power minus z square, and dx is root 2 sigma dz. Okay, now I am multiplying this, so it will be minus infinity to infinity root 2 sigma z e to the power minus z square into root 2 sigma dz plus 1 by sigma root 2 pi integration minus infinity to infinity mu e to the power minus z square root 2 sigma dz. Okay, so here it will be 1 by sigma root 2 pi into the constant part is root 2 into root 2, that is 2 sigma square minus infinity to infinity z square e to the power minus z square dz, plus here the constant part is root 2, mu sigma is cancelled out, so root 2 is also cancelled out, so the remaining part is mu by root pi. This is minus infinity to infinity e to the power z square. Okay, it will be minus z square e to the power minus z square dz. Okay, now to integrate this, I will substitute z square by t. So do 2z dz equal to dt, and the value of z is root t. Okay. So okay, this will be z. This will be z, not z square. This will be z. Now before substituting, to simplify the integration, we can check the functions we are integrating are even or odd. Now you see, if you put minus z in place of z, then you find that it is an odd function. Okay, the definition of odd function, you know that f of minus x equal to minus of fx. So it will be an odd function, and the result of this integration, that is, we know that integration minus a to a fx dx equal to 0 if the fx is an odd function. So here it will be 0 since this is an odd function, and this is an even function. The definition of even function is f of x equal to f of minus x. If you place minus z in place of z, it will be same. So this is an even function, and you know that if we integrate fx in the interval minus a to a, and fx is an even function, then we can write 2 into 0 to a fx dx. So it will be 2 mu by root pi 0 to infinity e to the power minus z square dz. Now here we will substitute z square by t. Okay, so here I am removing this. Okay, so if we substitute z square by t, then it will be 2 mu by root pi 0 to infinity e to the power minus t, and dz will be 1 by 2z dt. 1 by 2z, z is root t, 1 by 2 root t dt. So it will be 2 mu by root pi, okay, 2 is cancelled out. So mu by root pi 0 to infinity e to the power minus t, t to the power minus half dt. Now it is equal to mu by root pi 0 to infinity e to the power minus t, t to the power minus half can be written as half minus 1, and this is in the form of gamma function, and n is half, so it can be written as mu by root pi gamma half, and we know that the value of gamma half is root pi. So mu by root pi into root pi is cancelled out, so mu. So the expectation or mean of normal distribution is mu. Okay, now we will find standard deviation. So before finding standard deviation, we have to first find the variance, then we can get the standard deviation of normal distribution. Okay. So we know that definition of variance is expectation of e of x minus mx whole square. This is the definition of variance, where mx is the mean of the distribution. So here we have found out that mx is mu. We have just found out. So we are putting the value of mean, that is x minus mu whole square. So we will now find out expectation of x minus mu whole square. So this will be minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square into fx dx, where fx is the density function. So it will be minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square, and fx is 1 by sigma root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square dx. Okay. Now 1 by sigma root 2 pi is constant, and the remaining part is minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square dx. Now we'll substitute x minus mu by root 2 sigma, like before we have when we are finding out the mean. Same substitution, the square root of the power of the exponential. So we are substituting this by z. Then dx will be equal to root 2 sigma dz, and x will be root 2 sigma z plus mu. Now we are substituting this. So here it will be minus infinity to infinity. X minus mu will be root 2 sigma z, and whole square of that will be 2 sigma square z square, e to the power minus z square, and dx is root 2 sigma dz. Okay, so here root 2 will be cancelled out, sigma will be cancelled out, so the remaining part will be 2 sigma square by root pi minus infinity to infinity z square e to the power minus z square dz. So here you see that this is an even function. This is an even function. So we can write this is equal to 4 sigma square by root pi, 4 sigma square by root pi into 0 to infinity z square e to the power minus z square dz, since the function is an even function. Now we will substitute z square by t. Okay, so I am removing this. So z square equal to t, then 2z dz equal to dt, and this will be equal to 4 sigma square by root pi 0 to infinity z square equal to t e to the power minus t, and dz will be 1 by 2 root t dt. Okay, now 4 sigma square by root pi, okay, 2 and 4 by reducing it will be 2 e to the power minus t to the power half dt, and to express in the form of gamma function we are writing this as 3 by 2 minus 1. Okay, so it will be equal to 2 sigma square by root pi gamma of 3 by 2. Okay, now 2 sigma square by root pi gamma 3 by 2 can be written as gamma of half plus 1, and this will be equal to 2 sigma square by root pi. It can be written as half gamma half, because we know that gamma n plus 1 equal to n gamma n, and the value of gamma half is root pi half into root pi. So root pi is cancelled out, 2 is cancelled out. So the variance of normal distribution is sigma square. Then standard deviation, we know that positive square root of var x, that is positive square root of sigma square, that will be sigma. So the mean and standard deviation we have found out of normal distribution. Mean is mu and standard deviation is sigma. Okay, now I will go to standard normal distribution. Okay, so to solve problems we need to know standard normal distribution, and first I tell you where normal distribution fits. Okay, where normal distribution fits. So let a thermal plant supplies electric power in a certain city, and let X be the amount of electric power supplied by the plant in a day. Clearly X varies from day to day. It can be assumed that X is a continuous variable. It can be shown that X has normal distribution with parameter mu that is the average power supply per day, and sigma is the standard deviation of all the values assumed by x. So now what is standard deviation? The normal distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 1 is called standard normal distribution. The normal distribution with mean equal to 0 and standard deviation, that is sigma equal to 1, is called standard normal distribution. Okay, so standard normal distribution is a special case of normal distribution. So in this case the standard normal variate is denoted by this n within bracket 0, 1. So now if we write the probability density function of standard normal distribution, first we write the probability density function of normal distribution. It is, we know that 1 by sigma root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. So for standard normal distribution we know that sigma equal to 1 and mu equal to 0. Now if we put these values, it will be 1 by root 2 pi e to the power minus x square by 2. So this is the probability density function of standard normal distribution. Okay, now the standard normal curve looks like this. Okay, this is a symmetric curve. This is a symmetric curve, and this is the x-axis. X lies between minus infinity to infinity, and this is the origin, and this the normal the probability density function of standard normal distribution is denoted by phi x. So this is the axis for phi x. So it is a symmetric curve about y-axis. It has maximum value at x equal to 0, since minus infinity to infinity phi x dx equal to 1. So area under this curve is 1. Area under this curve is 1, and x-axis is its asymptote. Okay. Now standard normal distribution curve. The graph of distribution function. The graph of distribution function is shown like this. Okay, first let me remove this. 0 x like this. This is phi x. Okay. So the graph of the this is the graph of the distribution function of standard normal distribution. Okay. Now I will tell you a very important result. If the continuous random variable x has normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma, then z equal to x minus mu by sigma has standard normal distribution. Okay, so this is very important to solve our practical life problems. In this way we can convert a normal variate into standard normal variate. If x is a normal variate, then by subtracting mu from it and by dividing by the standard deviation, we'll get the standard normal variate corresponding to the normal variate. That is, here it is said that Z is a standard normal variate. To prove this, we have to prove that the mean of Z is 0 and standard deviation of Z will be 1. Okay, so Z has normal distribution, standard normal distribution. So we are finding out the mean of Z, that is Ez, equal to E of x minus mu by sigma. So it is 1 by sigma E of x minus E of mu, and since x is the normal variate, then we know that expectation of x will be mu, and the expectation of a constant is itself, so mu minus mu, it will be 0. So the mean of Z is 0. So first condition of standard normal distribution is satisfied. Now we will find out the standard deviation of Z. First we find out var Z. So it will be var of x minus mu by sigma. So we know that var of ax plus b, a property of variance we have discussed in previous video. Var of ax plus b equal to a square var x. Now I will apply this theorem. So it will be 1 by sigma square var x, and x being a normal variate, the normal variance of x is sigma square, we know. So 1 by sigma square into sigma square, that is 1. So variance is 1. So standard deviation, that is sigma, will be root over of var x, positive square root of var x, that will be 1. Okay. So hence we saw that the mean of Z is 0 and the standard deviation of Z is 1. That is, Z is a standard normal variate. So in this way we can convert a normal variate into standard normal variate. Okay. Now we'll discuss about some problems of normal distribution. Okay, so now first problem. First I write the question. The length of bolts, produced by a machine, is normally distributed, with mean 4 and standard deviation 0.5. A bolt is defective if its length does not lie in the interval 3.8, 4.3. Find the percentage of defective bolts produced by the machine. Okay, so the length of bolts produced by a machine is normally distributed with mean 4 and standard deviation 0.5. So here mu equal to 4 and sigma equal to 0.5 is given. So let us consider that x, capital X, be the normal. Okay, so I have missed some thing in the question. It is given in the question that 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to 0.6 e to the power minus t square by 2 dt equal to 0.7257 and 1 by root over 2 pi minus infinity to 0.4 e to the power minus t square by 2 dt equal to 0.6554. Okay, so what I was telling, that mu equal to 4 and sigma equal to 0.5, these are given, mean and standard deviation. So let x, capital X, let us take a variable which is continuous variable. X be the variable which denotes length of bolts. Okay, so by the given problem x has normal distribution, we have to find the percentage of defective bolts. So we know that it is given that a bolt is defective if its length does not lie in the interval this. Then if we find the probability of, that is the percentage of bolts or number of bolts which lies between, whose lengths lies between 3.8 and 4.3, this will give us the number of or probability of non-defective bolts which are not defective. So if we subtract this from 1, then we will get the percentage of defective bolt, probability of defective bolts. So to be defective, to be defective, a bolt, to be defective, its length should not lie between this. Okay, so if it is defective, its length is not lying between this. So we are finding the percentage of non-defective bolts, then we will subtract it from 1. Now since x is a normal variate, we will first convert x into standard normal variate. Then z equal to x minus mu by sigma, that is x minus 4 by 0.5. This is the standard normal variate. So we will convert it, the whole inequality, into standard normal variate, that is 3.8 minus 4 by 0.5 less than z less than 4.3 minus 4 by 0.5. Okay, so this gives us minus 0.2 by 0.5 less than z less than 0.3 by 0.5, and this gives us this will be minus 0.4 less than z less than 0.6. Okay, now okay, I am removing this. Let me draw the curve of standard normal variate. Okay, so this is the curve and the area is 1, we know this is symmetric, minus infinity to plus infinity. So we have to find minus 0.4 to 0.6, area under minus 0.4 to 0.6. We have to find this area. Clear? Now you see in the question it is given the area of minus infinity to 0.6, this area is given, and minus infinity to 0.4 is given here, 0.4. So this area is given. Okay, so we have to find minus 0.4 to 0.6. Okay, now if we subtract this minus infinity to 0.6, the area under this interval, from this we will subtract this area, minus infinity to 0.4. Then we will get the area under 0.4 to 0.6. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so from if we subtract this from this, that is minus infinity to 0.4, from minus infinity to 0.6, then we will get the area under 0.4 to 0.6. So we have to find minus 0.4 to 0.6. In that area we are dividing the area in two parts. One is this and another is this. So this area we are getting by subtracting. Okay, now to find this area, what should we do? So to find this area, you see minus infinity to 0.4, the area under this interval is given. Okay, the area under this interval is given. Now if we subtract 0.5, the whole area is 1. Since this is symmetric, right hand side is 0.5, left hand side is 0.5. So minus infinity to 0.4, this area, from this area if we subtract 0.5, then we will get the area under 0 to 0.4. Okay, we need minus 0.4 to 0.4. So since the curve is symmetric, their area will be equal of 0.0 to 0.4 and 0 to minus 0.4. So if we get the area under 0 to 0.4, then by multiplying by 2 that area, we will get minus the area under minus 0.4 to 0.4. Clear? Okay, now I will do this. So okay, I am removing this question. So here we are finding probability of minus 0.4 to 0.6. So we are dividing this portion in two parts. Here I am writing probability of minus 0.4 less than z less than 0.4 plus probability of 0.4 less than z less than 0.6. We have divided this part into two portions, minus 0.4 to 0.4 and 0.4 to 0.6. Okay, now to get this area, I just described it. First we are subtracting 0.5 from it, that is 0.6554 minus 0.5. If we do this, then we will get the area under 0 to 0.4. Okay, minus infinity to 0.4, this we are subtracting 0.5 this area from this area, then we will get 0 to 0.4, and this is multiplied by 2, then we will get minus 0.4 to 0.4 plus, and to get this area we have to subtract this area from this area, that is 0.7257 minus 0.6554. So this gives us 0.1554 into 2 plus 0.0702. So this is 8, 5 2s are 10, 11 1, 3, 0.3108 plus 0.0703. Now this will be 11, 7 plus 1, 8, 3, 0.3811. Now this is the probability of getting non-defective bolts. Okay, now to get the percentage or probability of defective bolts, so we have to subtract it from 1. So 1 minus 0.3811, that will give us 9, 8 plus 1 9 1 6 0.6189. So this is the probability of that the length of the random bolt selected is defective. and to get the percentage, just simply multiply it by 100. So percentage will be 0.6189 into 100, that is 61.89%. Okay, so this is the percentage of defective bolt produced. So in this way you have to solve the problems of normal distribution. First you have to convert the normal variate to standard normal variate, and with the help of the given areas you can find out the required area or probability. Okay, so I am giving you a problem to solve yourself. If the weekly wages of 10,000 workers in a factory follows normal distribution, with mean and standard deviation rupees 70 and rupees 5 respectively. Find the expected number of workers whose weekly wages are, number 1, between 66 and rupees 72, number 2, less than rupees 66, number 3, more than rupees 72. It is given that 1 by root 2 pi 0 to z e to the power minus t square by 2 dt equal to 0.1554 and 0.2881 according as z equal to 0.4 and z equal to 0.8. So you try to solve this problem yourself. Now watch this video carefully. If you have any query or problem regarding this video, regarding normal distribution, you can contact with me. My contact details is given at the first slide of this video. Thank you.